We were having trouble reading the numbers on the labels. Can you help with that?
Yeah, it can seem a bit daunting, but it's not as hard as you might think.
Look at this label. How am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to be reading?
There's an easy way to do it. See the 100-gram column? That's the column you need to look at when you want to compare between products, so then you can choose the best one. What you're aiming for is a product that has less than 10 grams of fat per 100 grams, less than 10 grams of sugar per 100 grams, and more than 6 grams of fibre per 100 grams.
10, 10, 6. That's easy to remember.
Okay, let's test that out. So we've got fat, 0.6, sugars, 7.7. Hey, fibre, it's only 5.7.
Well, that's close enough, T. Have your beans on some whole grain bread with some low-fat margarine and you've got the perfect snack. A lot better than chips.
I'll say, look at this. 34 grams of fat. And it doesn't look like there's anything good about them.
Except the yummy, crunchy taste. Are you saying I can never eat chips again?
No, but they should be a treat.
Well, what about a low-fat packet? This is the goodness of multigrains.
Well, what's the fat content?
Well, it says 23.7 per 100 grams. Okay, so that's about twice as much as what it should be. But the sugars and the... Well, at least it's better than those ones.
And that's what you should be doing, guys. Compare. Take a look at this classic Kiwi breakfast. Total fat per 100 grams, 1.3. Sugars per 100 grams, 2.8.
Yeah, and look at this one. 44 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That is heaps more than Weet-Bix.
More than 11 times the amount of sugar and a lot more expensive.
Hey, there's no labels on fruit, is there? Or meat, come to think of it. How are we supposed to do that 10-10-6 thing if there's no labels on them?
I think you already know the answer to that one, T.
Right, all fruit and veg are good for me.
Yes, and 1 to 2 servings of protein. And remember the size of your palm. And remember to take the visible fat off the meat and the skin of chicken to keep your heart healthy.
You know what I just figured out?
What?
Everything that's good for me, fruit, veggies, meat, dairy, are all on the outside of the supermarket.
That's an important discovery. If you stick to the perimeter of the supermarket, you'll eat more healthily.
With the occasional expedition down the aisles for my Weet-Bix and baked beans.
Well, I'm not saying never go down the aisles, but when you do, check the labels.
Man, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how much sugar was in that cereal.
Some cereals are even higher. Let's go back to the kitchen for a closer look. So the 10-10-6 rule is a really helpful guide to help you make the better choices. Another important part of reading labels is looking at the ingredients list. Ingredients are listed in order of quantity, starting with the largest amount first. So if fat, sugar or salt are listed in the first 3 ingredients, then the product will be high in that ingredient. Unfortunately, there are a lot of different names for fat, sugar and salt, so the more label reading you do, the more you will become familiar with these names. By checking out the nutrition panel and the ingredients list, it can also help you out with some of the label lingo. Like when you see low fat, you can actually see what that means. Some products are low fat but really high in sugar, or no added sugar may contain lots of natural sugar, or cholesterol free may still have a high fat and energy content. Remember, at the end of the day, if you eat and drink more calories than what you burn up, you will gain weight. Too much weight, especially around our tummies, can increase our risk of getting type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So by reading the labels, it's giving you control over what you want to put in your trolley and therefore in your bodies. I'm not suggesting that you can never eat Coke or chips again, but you only have one body, so it's important to get it in the right proportions.
Thanks, Sarah. That sounds really good and has been really helpful.
Yeah, even I'll think twice before scoffing down fast food.
That's good, but I reckon fast food isn't always the cheapest or the best tasting. How about a challenge?
That sounds good.
Okay, if your flat went and got takeaways for dinner, you'd spend around $30. So why don't we take that $30 and head down to the supermarket and make our own fast and nutritious meals?
Great idea.
Okay, remember the 10-10-6 rule.
So the deal is that I cook for 3 people in my flat, and I need to make sure that if I'm cooking tea tonight, I'm going to be making something that's 2 things, quick and easy. Sarah's filled me in with something really fast and easy for me to do, beef stir fry. First ingredient has to be the beef schnitzel. Bearing in mind that with average males, they have between 120 and 150 grams, and we're going to go with 150 with our beef schnitzel. We'll carry on from there. At home, this is what we always get for our vegetables, the stir-fry mix from Pam's. It's easy and it's simple. And Sarah was telling me, in comparison to fresh vegetables, these are just the same nutritional value. The only difference is that you only have to cut the bag. Now with the flatmates dishes, people, easy peasy for measy. It's simple and it's easy. We start off with our oil. We only need a tablespoon with that, but because I'm a male, I'm not going to use a tablespoon. Just use your male ingenuity. Yeah, that's fine. There. After that, we're going to get our beef schnitzel, bearing in mind 150 grams per male, for males. Add it up yourself because that's just too much maths for me. And we're just going to brown it in our wok as so. Righty-ho. So now we've got our beef schnitzel, which is nice and brown now. What we're going to do is we're going to take it from the wok and place it into a separate bowl. Bearing in mind that we don't put it back in the same bowl when it was raw, okay? Because then people can get sick. And we only want people being sick when they don't pay their rent. So we're just going to slowly put it in to our bowl here. And it'll come back once we do our veggies. To the stir fry mix, our frozens. I told you it was easy, you just have to cut the bag. Straight into the wok here. Be very, very quick with it. Don't let it sit there. Okay, so our veggies are looking great right about now. All we're going to do now is return our meat back to the wok and mix that in just gently, and then final touch, easy peasy, as I said it would be, with our satay sauce. Just, you want to get all of it in there and mix it all in together. You know what I mean? So it gets all the flavours, just like Jamie Oliver does it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just mix it together only for a few more minutes, just to let that sauce get around. Now the flatmates love the sauce, and it's my own secret recipe. Well, not really secret, I got it handed to me from a mate. But all it is just these 2 main essential ingredients here. 4 tablespoons of the sweet chili sauce and 2 of the no salt crunchy peanut butter. Just mix it together. Once it sits there, mix in all your sauces with your veggies and your beef schnitzel. Easy peasy for measy.
So now we have the fast food challenge, and I bet Tokyo thinks he's got something really fast up his sleeve. But what can be faster than a pre-cooked chicken? Just remember to take the skin off first. It pays to have really fresh bread because it tastes good, and also it's a lot cheaper than fast food.